Okay, so I had another breakthrough. I was walking outside, and every time like someone would pass by, I'd be like, I don't know, like some people I don't know, I just like these two couples passed by and I was like, "Oh, I'm being awkward." And I was like kind of like getting on to myself. And then like another couple like was driving by and I was like strutting and like making myself like look big and cool, and I'm like, why do I do that? I'm just like walking and really like thinking, and it's my outer shell just protecting me. Like anytime I had vulnerable thoughts, like that they thought I was weird or that, anything, like I don't know, my body just like kicked in, was like puffed me up. Like I don't even know how to explain it. I'm definitely healing and becoming one of those that are like the earth butterflies. I'm becoming one of those, but I my bot like any second of insecurity I had, my body just kicked in, and like I just my ego just puffed myself up. I started strutting, and like I was just thinking why I do that, and then I was like almost started crying because it's like my my inner child like being at Hope, and it's not anyone's fault, but I wasn't really like handled very well, and like I was hurt so much, and like I didn't feel like I was like if you're not safe emotionally, you don't feel really safe. So I was pretty much like my own parent. So I'm like whenever I got hurt, I would just numb myself like I don't care. And like so I would deep down I knew like I had nothing. No one th- thinks like highly of me. No one thinks I can succeed. Like they know I'm just staying here, and they have like no expectations, and like I knew that, and as a child I feel like that crushed me. And so like my ego would like just come in and just build me up, and like I was like the loud, like always in trouble, bad, I don't care, like kid. And like I had like I walked around like I was Kim Kardashian, and I was at the children's home with nothing, but that's just my pride. It was my body was protecting me from the vulnerable state, because whenever I feel vulnerable like that, like my body like just like the other day, like I'm not a good employee, and they're getting tired of me, and like I was feeling so vulnerable, and just like that, like my body just kicked in and was like they're lost and stuff like that, and I'm like, no, I need to like make sure that I'm taking full responsibility. But so yeah, I started walking and I'm like really trying to heal. So I'm thinking of like I'm trying to like break it down and understand why, and then like I realize that's why. And I'm like what if they actually saw me for who I was, like a scared, like I'm scared of everything, um person who's just hanging on by a string. And like I started crying because that's how I am inside. I am hanging on by a string. I'm scared of everything. Like something hurts me. Like I feel it so deeply now. And I get back inside. I'm listening to this podcast, and it's like about the hurt you and your core you. And he was like, "Who are you?" To ask yourself that. Close your eyes. And that's exactly what I like. I closed my eyes and I was listening, and I know I'm listening, but then I can feel myself listening, the other me, and they call it the watcher, but it's you, the core you, and then there's the hurt you, the one that's really projecting. And then it was like, are you the mind or the body? And I'm like, I live in the body. I just react to stuff, and my mind is inside with the core me. And yeah, like I just started crying again because I'm like listening to the podcast, doing these activities, and I'm like, okay, I can actually like feel myself, the hurt me, and like I just start like having so much sympathy for the hurt me of everything it went through in life, and like how hard, like numb up, like it became to protect itself, to protect me. And then like I'm starting to heal, like I'm becoming more of the mind. Becoming more present. I'm not living in like the past anymore. Like I'm not dissociating. Like it's me. Like I feel like it's starting to be me 100% of the time. Also, I'm like in the parasympathetic nervous system, and before my default was into the sympathetic. So the hurt me was 100% dominant. I was always in the sympathetic. I was dissociated. I would just go through life. I wouldn't feel anything. I was just so numb, and that's my body, and it's just reacting. And now that I'm more into the parasympathetic and more healing and observing stuff, like the core me is coming out. And like, so I was crying like good and bad, but like for like sadness for everything that hurt me went through, and but then also like happiness for the real me that's starting to come out. I'm actually like living day, like being aware, like living. And yeah, so I went into the chat, not ChatGPT, but Grok, and I was like trying to, I didn't know what I was feeling. So I put it in and seeing what it could help me. And it was like, oh, that's I do have depersonalization. Like I can look in the mirror still and I'll see the other person looking back at me. It's me, but my mind sees her looking back at me. It's the weirdest thing. But it's from chronic stress, and my whole life I've been stressed. And like I have all these symptoms from it. And before I just started healing, and working on being the parasympathetic. But if you don't heal trauma, it manifests and it gets worse. And I feel like that's why my mom, she had so much trauma and so much like head like problems, and then it just got worse, and she like had like schizophrenic like symptoms, like she still does, and she's like messed up. But that's because of trauma. And so yeah, I looked it up. There's like they have IFV, or no, IFS. They have like some type of like therapy. Obviously I don't have like money for therapy, but I'm so happy. Like I was literally crying, and and then it was like, tell the hurt you that they're welcome, because it's like your body is merging your personality, your core you, and your and like the core you and the watcher, which is the body, the vigilant watcher, and it's like it's integrating. And I started crying, and it's like, say hurt me, or watcher, which is you, like you're welcome here. And yeah, I started crying. Also, yeah, like I feel like my body's like slowly like opening up and healing, because like the core me just can't handle stuff. Because I mean, I've never had to like, the core me's never had to like deal with anything. So it's like my first thing was like a couple days ago, someone said I look like a serial killer, and I was like in my present, very parasympathetic state, and it just ruined me. I was out for a whole day. I was so numb. I was thinking about suicidal things, like suicidal thoughts, because like the core me is just not, it's very sensitive, and it's not ready yet. But I feel like my body's like slowly letting it out. So I'm really happy. I feel like the number one game changer is being in the parasympathetic nervous system. So the number one thing for healing is relaxing 100%, and not like just laying down, but like making sure your breath work is so slow. Like I practice 10 at 10 10, so just 10 in, 10 out. I do that all day, and then when I'm sleeping, like my body will like go back to normal. But all day I do that for the past couple weeks, and it's been amazing. So yeah.